Hi, welcome back to Elements in Focus. My name is Rheaume. I'm the Director of Financial Planning, and today I've got Daren Hardesty, Certified Financial Planner, with me. Daren, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. How about you, Aaron?
I am well. It is early March as we're recording this. Got some good sunny weather, warm weather here in Indiana, so all is good. Hopefully, we'll be able to get out on the golf course here pretty quick.
That's a guarantee. We'll make that
Yeah.
happen.
So today, everyone, if you're new, we walk through our 5 critical element process. And today, Daren and I are going to focus on the last critical element called legacy planning. And we're going to talk about being philanthropic and some different strategies that we employ as advisors here at the Financial Enhancement Group. And this is probably one of our favorite things to do, is really help people with their charitable intent, things that they're passionate about, whether it's given to a church or a specific cause. Our job here at the Financial Enhancement Group is not to make you bigger givers, it's to make you better givers. And it really warms our hearts when we have people that are looking for ways to be able to support causes that they're very passionate about. So Daren and I and a lot of our FEG team spend a lot of time teaching our families how to give, not only just by writing simple checks and giving cash. So Daren, why don't you walk the folks through some of the strategies that we employ at FEG, and we'll wrap up at the end with some questions maybe.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. Aaron, said it, hit the nail on the head. We love helping families know that there are better ways to give. And what we try to do is just make sure if a family comes in and they have any type of charitable intent, we don't tell them how much to give. We're not thinking about only their taxes when it comes to giving, because we want families who want to give, not not because of a tax savings necessarily. So there's multiple ways to do it, and it just depends on the types of accounts that you have, your age, different circumstances that you run into. But I'm going to run through just some of the more basic ones, or things that we do on a regular basis for our families. So the most common way of gifting that we help our families with is if they have qualified IRA assets. There's something called a qualified charitable distribution. Now, there are some rules to this. You have to be 70 and a half or older, not a day before. But if you have IRA money and you give a certain amount of money to your church on a regular basis or to a charity, we highly recommend that families give that directly from their IRA through that QCD. It's a great way. It's a top line deduction. It's money that the IRS has never taxed before. And when it goes to the church or charity and they cash the check, they, being a 501c3, they don't have to pay taxes on it. So everybody gets what they want. It just helps our families, manage their accounts and make sure that they're limiting the amount of tax that they have to pay, by using that strategy. So again, that's called a QCD. And there are some parameters around that, but it's a great way if you've got tax deferred money inside of an IRA. That's one of the first things we do once we see that age and the family update. Hey, guess what? You're going to be 70 and a half soon. Let's start thinking about using QCDs. For other families, they may have brokerage accounts that are not qualified accounts. So these are non-IRA accounts. And if they have held an account for a certain amount of time and their position inside of Apple has grown and created a large amount of unrealized capital gains. So those are gains that have not been sold. So we haven't experienced those taxes from selling that, but it has grown from its value that we bought it at. We can use what's called appreciated stock gifting. So this doesn't have an age range that you have to be, but if you are able to, if you called me and said, hey, I want to give X amount of dollars to my church and they've got appreciated stock, we can go through and look at your stock positions and actually transfer that stock directly to the church or the charity into an account that they hold. They liquidate it. And because, again, they're a 501c3, they have a tax preferential code where they can sell that stock and they don't have to pay any capital gains tax on that. And you also kind of remove that on your end. It benefits you because you remove that unrealized gain from your account, which just makes it more tax efficient as we continue to manage the account. So that's a very common thing that we do. For families who want to make a large gift in 1 year, or have a circumstance where they're selling a business, or they've had a major windfall for something with income where now they've got a large amount of taxation in 1 year, what we like to use is what's called a donor advised fund. Donor advised funds can be funded with cash or with stock and other types of assets. But you are able to, if you have a large year, let's say you sell a business, and you have a larger than normal tax year, you can do future gifting by depositing money into that donor advised fund in 1 year. You get the tax benefit of all of that gift in 1 year. And so let's say a family moves $100,000 into a donor advised fund. They're able to itemize that $100,000 as a charitable gift, but they don't have to give it all in 1 year. They can actually stretch that out over a 5 or 10-year period by what's called a grant from the donor advised fund, as long as it goes to a 501c3. So you can kind of get the tax benefit in those big tax years through the donor advised fund, and then use that as your charitable gifting bucket for several years after you funded it. So it's a really good way, a really simple way to make sure that we're optimizing that. Keep in mind there are rules. What we think about as far as what you can itemize, whatever your adjusted gross income is, you can't itemize all of your adjusted gross income, but the IRS does allow that you can itemize up to 60% of whatever your annual income is for that year if you give a cash gift. So up to 60% can be itemized to a charitable gift there. If you use appreciated stock or other appreciated assets as a gift, you only get a 30% of your AGI. So still a large amount, depending on the situation. It's a great way to do this. So there's all different types of things. What we want to know is when we talk to families, are you charitably inclined? That can mean different things to different people, but if they essentially we're asking, do you give to church or charity regularly? And we ask how much they like to give, and we kind of figure that out. We look at their accounts, we look at their age, their situation, and our job is to go through and say, hey, this is the best, most tax efficient way to give this gift. It's better than just cutting a check from the bank account, and we help our families get that accomplished. We love it, and it's something we really enjoy doing.
Thank you, Daren, for sharing those strategies. We really do enjoy putting those together for the families that we serve at FEG. If you're charitably inclined and want to know more about gifting strategies in general, please reach out to us. Schedule your complimentary Next Steps meeting at 800-928-4001. You can scan the QR code on the screen that will take you to fill out some information, link, or you can go directly to our website, yourlifeafterwork.com, click on one of the advisor's pictures. You can book a quick call with our team. We're more than happy to help you answer the questions that you have. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day.